This weekend's fight night is shaping up to be a sleeper hit. No doubt about it. You've got Benoit Saint Denis taking on Renato Moicano in the headliner, and if you know anything about these two, you know it's going to be a wild ride. Moicano is that type of guy who either chokes somebody out or he gets knocked out himself. And let's not forget Matt Favola is going toe-to-toe with Farid Ziam. Favola fights like he's auditioning for a Michael Bay movie. Expect bombs, chaos, and maybe even some fireworks. Plus, you also got Ion Cutelaba in the card, which means only one thing: reckless, all-out warfare. But all of those are just appetizers. The real main course, for me at least, is Brendan Allen versus Nassourdine Imavov. This fight, it's got title eliminator vibe written all over it. And I know what you're thinking, wait, isn't Allen ranked number 8 and Imavov ranked number 4? Sure, that seems like a bit of a gap on paper, but in the UFC, rankings are something as meaningless as New Year's resolutions in February. The UFC loves to keep us guessing, and honestly, this fight could definitely determine who's next in line for a title shot. Whoever wins could face off against whoever takes the belt between Sean and Dricus, with both fighters having such different styles and serious skills. It's just a shame that this fight is only a 3-round fight. Now let's talk about the odds. Imavov is the favorite with the odds around minus 225 to minus 230, while Allen comes in as the underdog at plus 180 to plus 190. No sugarcoating here, I've got to go with Imavov. He's just a more well-rounded fighter in my eyes. Sure, Allen's got the grappling game on lock, but Imavov's striking, counterpunching, and ability to mix it up will most likely give him the edge. But hey, do I think Imavov should be such a big favorite? No, not really. This fight is a lot closer than the odds suggest. Brendan Allen has evolved, man. He started out in the UFC as a pure grappler, but now he's got hands. He developed his striking game to a point where he's generally a threat on the feet, and that's a huge part of his recent success. Still, Allen's striking hasn't always been the smoothest, but that's part of the journey. Allen is finding the balance between his grappling and his striking, and that's why he's so dangerous. The guy can do it all now. But here's the thing, Imavov is no joke. The man can strike with the best of them. He's got a solid jab, nasty elbows, and he's comfortable everywhere, whether it's standing or mixing in some grappling. He's versatile, and that's going to be a problem for Allen. I don't see Allen being able to rely solely on his grappling to drag Imavov into deep waters. Imavov is going to neutralize Allen's grappling, and they're going to be forced to stand and trade. And in a 3-rounder, that's a huge advantage for Imavov. The shorter the fight, the better it is for a guy who can mix things up and keep the pace high. I think Imavov's striking is still underrated. His performance against Sean Strickland was impressive. Even though Sean Strickland came in like short notice, Imavov managed to look solid against a guy like Strickland, who's known for his pressure and his toughness. Imavov even won the 5th round, which is usually where Strickland turns the heat. And let's not forget, Imavov had a strong second round that fight as well. The dude knows how to fight at different ranges, whether it's in the pocket or in the clinch, and that's going to be the key against Allen. Now, don't get me wrong, Allen's grappling is no joke. The guy took down Chris Curtis, who has a 95% takedown defense, and controlled him on the mat. That's crazy impressive. But Curtis, in my opinion, won the later rounds of that fight. And if Allen couldn't convincingly dominate Curtis, I'm not sure how he's going to handle someone like Imavov. Allen's best hope here is to catch Imavov in a submission, but that's a tall order, especially considering that Imavov's solid takedown defense and his ability to control the pace of that fight. One of the things I like most about Imavov is that he's shown that he could take a big shot. The guy has an iron chin. He's eating shots from powerhouses like Jerry Cannonier and Romy Delite, and kept moving forward. Imavov was arguably on the verge of finishing Cannonier in their fight, and that's saying something. If Allen can't get this fight into the ground, I don't see how he's going to win in the striking battle. Another thing to keep in mind is that Brendan Allen could definitely get caught in this fight. I mean, if we're looking at his past losses, we cannot ignore the fact that he got knocked out by Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland. And let's be real, neither of those guys are known for throwing bombs like prime Mike Tyson, but they managed to find the openings and put Allen away. Now, don't get me wrong, Allen has improved since those losses, but that doesn't mean he's invincible. Imavov isn't a guy you want to sleep on when it comes to his striking. The dude is slick with his stand-up, and he has tendencies to throw unexpected counters that can catch you off guard. So if Allen gets too comfortable standing, especially early on while he's trying to find his rhythm, he might find himself waking up staring at the lights. But that's where the fight gets really interesting, right? It's almost like a game of cat and mouse. If Allen can survive the early exchanges and drag Imavov into his world, grappling, scrambling, and those deep waters we always talk about, then he's got a real shot. But if he plays around too much on the feet, Imavov could capitalize on his opening and shut it down before Allen even gets a chance to warm up. Let's not forget though, Allen's chin isn't made out of glass either. Yeah, he's been caught, but he's also been taking some solid shots from guys like Jack Hermanson and Muniz without folding. So it's not like he's walking in there with a big neon sign that says hit me or I'll go down. But the fact that he's been knocked out twice does make you wonder if Imavov might test that chin early. But hey, another thing we should consider in this fight is Allen's fight IQ. The guy is smart. He's not just a meathead grappler. He knows that he doesn't want to stand and trade with a sniper like Imavov for too long. If he's smart, and we've seen him fight smart before, he's going to look and try to close the distance, wear Imavov down in the clinch and start working those takedowns. If he can make it ugly and avoid the big shots early, that's his path to victory. But again, it's kind of hard to see. One mistake on the feet and it could be lights out. Speaking of Imavov's power, let's not forget that the guy's performance against Jared Cannonier, he was tagging a tough dude like Cannonier and even looked like he could have finished him at one point. And Jared Cannonier is no slouch when it comes to absorbing damage, so for Imavov to have him in trouble speaks volumes about his power and striking technique. The guy doesn't just throw wild punches, he's calculated, and that's what makes him so dangerous for someone like Allen, who might leave openings in the striking exchanges. But let's circle back to the mental game, because I think this is going to play a huge role in this fight. Allen knows that he's got the grappling edge, and Imavov knows that he's got the striking edge. So the question is, who can impose their will first? If Allen can get frustrated by not being able to secure a takedown early, or if he starts eating jabs and counters, that could mess with his game plan. On the flip side, if Imavov can't keep the fight standing, or he starts getting controlled on the ground, it's going to be a long night for him. And then there's always the factor of cardio. It's a 3-round fight, but let's not act like cardio doesn't matter in a shorter fight. Allen's grappling heavy style tends to sap his opponent's energy, and if Imavov isn't careful, he can find himself gassing out, especially if he spends too much time defending against takedowns or working off his back. But at the same time, Imavov has shown that he can go hard for all 3 rounds without losing too much steam. So it's really going to come down to who can control the pace. At the end of the day, this fight is going to come down to strategy and execution. If Allen can survive the early rounds and drag Imavov into a grappling war, he's got a real chance. But if Imavov can keep it standing and use his strike and dictate the fight, it's hard to see how Allen finds success. Either way, this is a high-stake matchup that could easily shake up the middleweight rankings. And at the end of the day, I think this fight is going to be competitive, but I have to give the edge to Imavov. He's just got too many tools, and with this being a 3-round fight, he's going to be able to empty the gas tank and show his full arsenal. Allen is a great fighter with a bright future, but in this matchup, I think Imavov's striking, his movement, and takedown defense will be the difference. If Allen can't impose his grappling game early, he's in for a long or rather short night. So yeah, my pick is Imavov. Allen might have some moments, but I see Imavov styling on him, especially in those early rounds. And who knows, maybe we'll be talking about Imavov as the next contender after this one. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me or not? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.